This is Winning Cures Everything. Now for your hosts, Gary and Chris.
Go ahead.
Song of the week, my choice. This is my personal favorite song of all time. George Strait, Amarillo by Morning. I can't tell you why, but George Strait is the king. Probably my favorite solo artist of all time. It's just so good.
Yeah, it is.
Soulful, man.
This is a fantastic song.
Such a good song. It makes you feel like a better person.
It really does.
I don't know why.
My wife loves George Strait.
Yeah, we have that in common.
So he's something else. He's
got more number one hits, and I forgot the number, than
it's like 50
9 or
something.
10 of like the greatest artists of all time combined. I mean, it's pretty astronomical.
Well, I mean, country music, like, this was their guy. Like, Elvis was rock's guy,
right.
like,
That's
to
right.
start out with.
There's a reason. I mean, he's the king. And,
Yeah.
I mean, he goes in the same
breath as, like, Garth
breath
Brooks.
as Elvis, Garth, Michael.
Yeah. So, all you got to say is George, and people,
for
immediately
country music, he is, in my opinion, he's the greatest singer, and Garth is the greatest entertainer.
I can get down with that.
And that's what I think. I just think he's
He's
and here's the
fantastic.
deal. Like, he wasn't known for writing his own songs. He wasn't known because Garth has a lot of input if he doesn't personally write it himself, his own music. But George was just like, give me something.
Yeah.
And I'll sing it. And I'll make it great. And there's something special about that. So this leads us into hot takes.
We love hot takes.
I'm about to take a pretty dynamic twist off of George and Amarillo by Morning. That makes me feel good, and this is about to make me feel bad. I'm going to be a really, really kind of a jerk right now. I was coming up with hot takes. I had 2 or 3 that I wanted to go over. And then I got some news today. We're recording this on Monday about camps opening up. And one of my favorite teams, the Cleveland Browns, I'm very much looking forward to Josh Gordon's return to football. And I get report today that Josh Gordon is not allowed to report to camp because the NFL hasn't caught him doing anything else. No issues, no problems. They just want him to make sure that he takes an extra look at himself and understands the gravity of the situation and his ability to play in the NFL because of his past transgressions.
I just saw what you wrote on your
Yeah,
paper.
my notes. My notes. Yeah. It's written really big. It's one real line, real quick. Roger Goodell has to be one of the greatest pieces of trash the world has ever seen. Ever. And I'm not going to get into comparing him to some of the world's greatest pieces of trash because that would do a disservice to people who are real victims, and B, it would make Roger Goodell look good, and nothing should ever make this man look good. Why he continues to go after Josh Gordon and they are making this out to be like this guy was some mass murderer or did some heinous thing. The guy got caught smoking pot, okay? Is it against the rules? Yeah. He paid his punishment? Sure. Well, then he got caught smoking pot again, but really, he didn't. He absolutely didn't. His last time for testing positive was such a minute trace of THC that the people at the lab said they've never found anybody who tested this low before ever that wasn't a negative test. But the NFL says any trace amounts, it's an automatic year-long suspension.
Well, what was it? It said that, it could have been secondhand, or it could have been left in his body from before.
They had theories about how an individual can test so low and it get this result. And the theory was it's so small it has to be secondhand smoke. It has to be. And or because his THC count in the past has been so high because of the volume he used to smoke, it's just taken that long to get out of his system, and he still has trace amounts in it. The NFL says, we don't care. He's gone. He's gone for a year. The guy didn't get intoxicated, get behind the wheel of a car. He didn't hurt anybody. He didn't get into a fight.
Yeah, there was no domestic abuse here.
He's never put his hand on a woman that we know of, or a child, or another adult male. So, he hasn't done any of these things, but he's being looked at and watched like he is some heinous serial offender. Roger, you're no longer Mr. Goodell. You're no longer given any name of respect whatsoever. You're just a piece of trash. That's all you are. And let me tell you why I'm taking this personally. If you were to take a person, I'm mocked a little bit because I have 2 teams in the NFL. I'll take that. That's fine. Make fun of me all you
one
want.
of the best and one of the
one
worst.
of the worst. Yeah, that's okay. But if you were to do a Venn diagram of somebody who loves the Patriots and worships at the feet of Tom Brady, and then another circle of all the people in the world that love Cleveland and really, really love Josh Gordon, I would venture to say that I am the only person that fits in both of those Venn diagrams.
I would agree with that.
Roger, this is a shot at me, and so I'm going to make it my life's work to take shots at you. For the rest of eternity, there is nothing good that you will ever do to change my mind. If I ever meet you personally, wearing a shirt with you looking like a clown would be something you'd say, thanks. That's not very disrespectful, because the things that will come out of my mouth will probably way more disrespectful.
You want to say what's on the sheet?
I just said Roger is a dick. That was me taking notes. I was just like, this guy's pissed me off to a point where my hot take is just going to be, I'm hot. I'm pissed off right now, and I don't like this guy. We're treating Josh Gordon like he has been locked up for years for doing some heinous crime. And his crime was he smoked some pot and he's a football player, and our bylaws say you can't do that. But we'll shoot these guys up with more opioids than anybody's business. Why don't the NFL look into that? And not the CED, well, and not the CED, but along with CTE,
yeah,
and see what's killing these folks.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Just a piece of trash. Just a piece of trash.
Now, my hot take is not going to be nearly as hot.
No.
However, after last week's incidents, I guess you could say, with SEC Media Days, with the Georgia fans taking shots at Jeremy Pruitt, I was a little perplexed as to why they would be taking shots. With Georgia and Mark Richt, I understand people love Mark Richt at Georgia. They want to stand up for him. He was their guy, et cetera, et cetera. But they all came out and said that Jeremy Pruitt is not head coach material. This was David Pollack and Aaron Murray. He's not head coach material because he doesn't know how to treat people, and he's disrespectful, and blah, 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 blah. Look, football is a bottom-line business. Either you know how to win or you don't. My hot take is that Jeremy Pruitt will win the SEC East within the next 3 years. I think that he completely turns around that Tennessee program. The guy knows how to recruit. He understands how to build a championship program. And the people that don't think that he understands how to do that just don't get it.
No.
He played football at Alabama under Gene Stallings. He didn't win a national championship there, but Stallings knew how to build a championship caliber team. Right? He played in 95 and 96. He started out at Middle Tennessee. When he went into coaching, he started out at Hoover High School. Right? At Hoover, he was the defensive backs coach in 2004. They won a state championship that year. In 2005, he got moved to defensive coordinator. They won a state championship that year. 2006, they were runners-up. 2007 through 2009, he was Alabama's he was the director of player personnel. Look, they won a national championship in 2009. He was the secondary coach from 2010 through 2012. That's 2 more national championships. At Florida State, he was a defensive coordinator under Jameis Winston's team. Won a national championship then. Went to Georgia for 2 years under Mark Richt. What everybody got so mad about was that Pruitt had the nerve to not be okay with losing. In what other sport is that a problem?
It's not, and you see this in the NFL. I hate always bringing everything back to the Patriots because that's my team, and I don't want to make everything about them. But
it's what you what you know.
But
it's
no,
why I keep bringing up Alabama.
It fits into this equation because people all these players leave the Patriots, and they all complain about how big of a jerk Bill is. It just one of those things where he doesn't tolerate losing, he doesn't tolerate shortcuts, and he doesn't handle people not doing their job.
Right. So, it's why when players leave New England,
they talk bad about Bill.
Well, but they're rarely as good as they were in New England.
Correct.
That's just bottom line. Yeah. So, and Pruitt, of course, came back to Alabama as defensive coordinator, won a national championship last year, had the best defense in the country in 2016. And couldn't get the national championship because of different factors. Yeah. But either way, he's got multiple state championships and national championships. The guy knows what it takes to build a winning program. He will win the SEC East in the next 3 years. And once Saban retires, there's no doubt in my mind he will win an SEC championship for Tennessee. Bottom line.
You talk big for a guy that hadn't won a lot of SEC championships.
Yeah, you're right.
You got more national championships than you do SEC championships.
No, I think it's the exact same number.
There's something wrong with that, by the way. It's probably everybody in the world believes there's something wrong with that, except for people from Alabama. So
No.
You can be third in the West, but you can be best in the country. That makes sense. That's how math works in Alabama.
All right, we're going to move off of that. We're jumping into fact or fiction to close this thing up.